everybody, it's Cathy from My Side of 50. On the blog this week and last week, I have had two bloggers that did guest posts on sharing your adult children, and I say sharing in quotes, with their in-laws on holidays and how that can be stressful. Doreen McGettigan from Philadelphia is a wonderful author and writer, and she has several grown children and 13 grandchildren, and she just gives her perspective on how this has evolved for her over the years. And then this week, Joan Stoneman from GrahamCrackerCrumbs.com wrote a post on 10 tips to ease that stress. And Joan has 5 grandchildren, 2 grown children, so she's been doing this for about 20 years. So, and the reason I have been thinking about it, I just have to kind of share my experience with you. And let me just preface this by saying that I've had about the perfect situation. We live in Texas, and when we've been raising our kids, my in-laws lived in Wisconsin. So we never got together on holidays. We always got together during the summer. So, and my parents were here, so we just always celebrated holidays with them, and that was just like no big deal at all. But I could see in my, group of peers, people getting stressed out, demands being made about having to be 2 or 3 places on Christmas, and who's going to be there for dinner and what time, and who gets Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, Thanksgiving, just all of the stuff that goes into that. And I vowed that I would never do that to my children. I thought that was just the most ridiculous thing, and I was just, totally above all of that. Well, fast forward a few years, and my younger daughter got married about 5 years ago. And, this should not be a problem. For one thing, both of the men that my daughters are with, their families live close. So it's we can get together all the time. We can all get together the same day. That's the traveling part is not an issue for us. But after Allison got married, her in-laws, they always celebrated on Christmas Eve, and we celebrated on Christmas Day. And so that shouldn't be a big deal. She would just be with them, with her husband on Christmas Eve, and we'd get them Christmas Day just like we always did. And so that was all arranged, and, everybody should be happy. Well, Christmas Eve, my husband and I are driving to church, and I burst into tears because my kids were not with me on Christmas Eve, and Allison wasn't going to be waking up in our house on Christmas morning. And I just had a total meltdown. I think I picked a fight with him like it was his fault. And I just was a crazy person. Nobody did anything to me. Everything was just how I wanted it. And it was very upsetting. So I just share that with you to say, if sharing your kids is emotional for you, I get it. And I had the perfect situation. I just have to say that my kids' in-laws are the best people, and they are the kind of people that we would be friends with even if our kids weren't married. So, but I still, just had a crazy moment there. And as I look back, and as Joan says in her blog post this week, having to rearrange the way we've always done things on Christmas in our family because we have new people coming into the family, that's just part of the letting go process. And I guess I didn't have a big meltdown when she got married or they went to college or anything, so I guess this was my moment, this first Christmas. And since then, we've worked it out. It's never been a problem. They're great people, and nobody, gets too uptight about anything like that, so we work it out. But I just wanted to share that with you. And I've seen from some of the comments from the blog post last week that this, it's just a hard thing. But one thing that was very wise that Doreen said, and I guess she probably had to learn this like all of us do, is that she refused to cause strife in her family over attendance at a holiday meal. So that's very wise. It's just not worth it. And, getting to be together whenever you can and making memories and loving each other, that's the important thing. So I'm just, as I say this to you, I'm saying this to myself. The other thing I've kind of been able to do, just because of how we're all located in this family, is I try to give preference to the people the families that have the oldest people in them and who have the new babies. So for many years when I had my parents with me, our issue was always getting them home before dark because they could not drive after dark. So we scheduled everything so that they could be out of here by about 4 o'clock. And so the other two in-laws worked with us very well on that. This year, Amy's partner, Bobby, he has a grandfather that shares the holidays with him who's 90. So whatever they need to do for Grandpa gets, preference. And then my other son-in-law, Mike, there's a brand new baby in his family, so they get preference too. So I'm just telling y'all, Jill and Brenna, it's here on video. Y'all get to pick when you want to do everything, and we will work around you and what you need. And, next year we're going to have a new baby in the family. But that's why we've been able to work that out. So anyway, I just wanted to share my experience with you. If it's emotional, if it's hard, I get it, because my situation's about perfect, and I had a hard time with it one time. And, just read these blog posts. These women have some great wisdom. You're not alone. You're not crazy. So I just wanted to put that all out there, and I'm just glad you joined me today. So head on over to mysiteof50.com and read both of those posts. If you have not subscribed, where you get the post and my weekly newsletter with all sorts of great tips, you can do that at mysiteof50.com too. There's a sidebar. Just give me your name and email address. This week I have some tips on what to do if your purse is stolen. These are from other bloggers that I found. What to do if every time you take a picture on your iPhone it says your storage is full, and had this really great recipe that I tried last night. So those are just a few things I'm going to share with you in the newsletter that goes only to subscribers. So anyway, hope you have a great day. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.